If you've ever built infographics manually in Adobe InDesign, you know how quickly a simple design can turn into hours of work. In this tutorial, I'll show you a faster way to create polished infographics using Adobe Express, export them as PDFs, and place them directly into an InDesign layout. Let's jump in, and I'll show you how it works. Before we get things rolling in Express, let me show you the InDesign doc we'll be working on in this tutorial. I've left some space on the right side of this social media post design where we'll add a bar chart, line graph, and 3 progress donut charts at the top. You can see in this template I've already added the placeholder image frames. This will make it easier when we're adding the content later on in the tutorial. Now that you have an idea of how the InDesign document looks like, let's jump over to Adobe Express and start building out our infographics for this project. I'm in Adobe Express now, and let's start by creating a new document. To do this, click on the blue plus icon located in the upper left-hand corner, and in the Create section, let's click on Custom Size. Let's set the width field to 272 pixels, and let's set the height field to 244 pixels. These are the dimensions of the placeholder frames in the InDesign document. Once you have those settings, go ahead and click Create New File. We now have a blank canvas to start creating our infographics for the InDesign layout. We'll start with the bar graph first. From the left side menu, hover over Add Content and then choose Charts and Grids. Let's click View All next to Charts, and for this first part we'll be adding a bar chart. I see the version that I want in this case. It's the second option here in the bar charts, so go ahead and click that, and that will place it on the blank canvas. I can resize it by grabbing any of the corner handles and making it bigger, and I can reposition it by just dragging it into place and centering it to the page. Next, let's update the font, colors, and data of the bar graph. Because the InDesign layout is using the font Basic Sans, I'd like to use that same font for the infographics. So in the fonts, I'm just going to simply type Basic Sans until I see the font that I want. Here it is here, Basic Sans, and I'll choose Regular. You can see that automatically updates in the bar graph. Now, by default, the color of the font will be black. You can see that here, and that's just fine. However, I do want to update the colors of the bars themselves in the graph. I'll click the first green color here, that's the default color, and I've gone ahead and set some colors up down below. You can see them here called additional colors, and these are the 3 that we'll be using for this tutorial. Now I'll choose the blue color in this example, and you can see that automatically updates on the page. I can click away, and now I can update the label and the value. Under label, I'm going to select that text, and this will be 2023. I'll press my Tab key to get to the value, and we'll set this to 250. You can see that automatically updates on the page as well. I'll click the Item 2 color, and I want to alternate between the blue and the green, so I'll click that color there, and then I'll click away, and I'll update the label to be 2024, hit my Tab key, and I'll leave this value on 200. I'll click the third color item, and again, I'll just alternate between the 2. This will be back on the blue, click away, select item 3, this will be 2025. I'll hit my Tab key, and I'll set this to maybe 150. And then finally, if I scroll down, I'll click the last green color, and this will be going back to the green color that I have in my branding. I'll click away, I'll select item 4, and I'll change this to 2026, press my Tab key, and this will be 350, and I'll hit Tab again, and you can see that changes in real time on the page. The first bar graph is done, however, I'd like to make the background transparent as well. So with nothing selected, I'm going to click on Edit Page, and then click on Background Color. I'll click on Custom, and then I'll make the opacity 0. So just slide the slider all the way to the left until you hit 0. And now you can see that I have a transparent background here. Great, now let's go ahead and create the line graph. First, I'll have to create a new page. To do that, click on Add Page in the bottom right-hand corner, and then choose Same Size to create the same size page as the first. Next, I'll make my way back up to Add Content and then choose Charts and Grids. For this, I want to choose a line chart, so I'll click View All, and you can see all your line chart options here. I think in this case, I'll choose this one here, and you can see that will be dropped on the page. Much like the first example, I can resize it by clicking and dragging any of the corner handles and then repositioning it in the page, just like so. Again, I'll change the font. I'll select the Source Sans 3 and just type my font, Basic Sans, and again, I'll set this to regular. Again, you can see that the default color for the text is set to black, and that's fine. However, I do want to change the value color, the line graph in the chart here. I'll go ahead and click that, scroll to my colors, and I want this to be the blue color, and you can see that updates in real time. I'll click away, and now all I have to do is update my items and values. I'll click on item 1, and this will be 2022. Press tab, and this will be 8. Press tab again until you get to item 2. This will be 2023. Press tab. This will be 18. Again, you could just make up your own figures if you want. Tab to get to item 3. This will be 2024. Press tab again. This will be 10. Press tab again. This will be 2025. Press tab again. We'll set this to 12. Press tab one more time. This will be 2026. Press tab again, and let's set this last value to a high number, maybe 22, and press tab again. And you can see now I have my line chart just the way I want it. Much like we did in the first example, we'll need to make that background transparent. So I'll click away and then click Edit Page. On the left, click the background color and then choose Custom. And then set the opacity slider to 0. And you can see now my page is transparent here as well. Let's add another page for the progress donut. I'm going to click on the page button and then click same size again. Let's go back to Add Content, Charts and Grids. We'll go back so we can see all the charts and bar graphs. And this time I'm going to scroll to the bottom until you see Progress Donut. I'm going to click View All. And here's the one I want. It's the actual Progress Donut with the percentage value in the middle. Actually, I changed my mind on the fly. I like this bold version better. Much like we've been doing, I'm going to resize this. Again, just grab the corner handles and reposition it just the way you want. I'm going to change the font to Basic Sans. And once I see it, I'll click regular to adjust the font there. You can see I have two default colors. I'll click the green color here. I'll once again scroll down to the colors that I have for this tutorial. And I think in this case, I'm going to go back to the branded blue color here. I'll click away, and then I'll click the secondary color, and I'll scroll down. Now, because the green in the branding doesn't really contrast well with the lighter blue, I'm actually going to choose a darker color, and it's the first color here, which is also included in the exercise files in the text document. And you can see that looks a lot better. Now here's the cool thing, there's a slider here to change the value. You can see as I'm increasing or decreasing it, not only does the percentage increase, but so does the progression bar as well. So this is a super useful feature to update data and the design all at once. For this first progress donut, let's set the value to 46%. Again, I'll click away, go to Edit Page, click the background color, click Custom, and then slide that opacity slider to 0. Now instead of adding a page and recreating these progress donuts, I could just duplicate them and change the values. I'll click on the 3-dot icon in the timeline and I'll click Duplicate. Now all I have to do is click on the progress donut and change the value. So I'll increase this to maybe 57%. In the timeline, I'll duplicate this version and create another one. I'll click on the third and last progress donut and I'll change the value to maybe 74%. Now that all the charts and graphs are finished, it's time to export them for the InDesign project. Now before we do that, let's give the project a name here in Express. Currently you can see up top it's called Untitled, so I'll just give this a proper name. I think I'll call it e-bike Infographics, since the InDesign project focuses on statistics on e-bikes. Perfect. I'll click away, and that's been renamed. To download the infographics, click on the download button in the upper right hand corner. Under page selection, I'll choose all pages, and you can see that now all the pages in the document are selected in the timeline. Under file format, you can certainly export transparent PNGs. I'll click the drop down. You can also export JPEG or PDF. For this example, I'm going to choose PDF standard. I also want to ensure download as individual PDF files is selected. As a final step, go ahead and click download. Now we can jump back to InDesign and import them into our document. I'm back in InDesign now, and before I place the infographics, it's important to note that when batch exporting PDFs from Express, the naming convention will not be honored. So in other words, you'll have to rename the PDFs, which I already went ahead and did. Have a look. If I bring over my Finder window here, I've gone ahead and renamed these bar graph. You can see there's the bar graph, there's the line graph, Progress Donut 1, Progress Donut 2, and Progress Donut 3. Perfect, those are all there. Now I can click on bar graph 1, hold my shift key, and click on Progress Donut 3. With them all selected, just drag them onto the layout. Don't actually click because that will drop them in randomly. Instead, I can hover over the placeholder images. So you can see in my loaded cursor, I already have the bar graph. And then I'll click into that frame and you can see it just drops it in. I'll do the same thing here for the line graph. And then I'll drop in the first progress donut, the second, and the third. Now, as I mentioned, you could certainly place the transparent PNGs instead, but the reason I used PDFs is you can actually edit them inside of InDesign as well. For example, if I click this first progress donut, right click, and then go to Edit With, I could choose Adobe InDesign, and that will upload a separate version of that PDF as a new document. Now it uploads it in a print format, so if you wanted to use this for print, you can. However, if you wanted to maintain the RGB colors, just go up to File, Document Setup, and then under Intent, switch it from print to web. You'll just have to readjust the page size or resize the infographic itself to accommodate the spacing. So for example, if I wanted to make this 600 by 600, I would just change that here, press my Tab key, click OK, select all the infographic content, hold Shift Command, and then resize it accordingly. And the cool thing with this, once I resize it here, all of this is still editable. If I click away and then double click inside, I could change this to update it. If I click my direct selection tool, I can click on these segments individually to update them as well. For example, if I wanted to change this darker blue, I'll go to my CC libraries where I have many colors here. And I could choose a lighter color or a whole different color altogether. And you could see that that is fully editable. This workflow is a great way to create polished infographics in Adobe Express without having to build everything from scratch in InDesign. Try it the next time you need to create charts, graphs, or visual data for an InDesign project. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Adobe tutorial content just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.